So today we're in the boat, folks, and we're going to be doing a few different things on getting her ready to go cruising. Other things that I can get done now with the things that I have on hand, which is, next to nothing, because I'm ordering some parts and stuff, and I'm still trying to make some decisions on what I need to do. The biggest thing that's holding us back are the motors and what I'm going to do with those. If I want to go ahead and repower, or if I want to use those motors, I want to repower, but I'm waiting on my father-in-law to help me make a decision on what to do there. Because I would personally prefer just go ahead and put those up for sale and put a new, nice, good, reliable, powerful, lightweight motor on there. But right now, we still have things to do to get the cabin and just the overall workings of the boat in order. First thing I think we're going to do today is remove this ice box. It only goes back not even 2/3 of the way into this little cabinet, so hopefully we open up a lot of extra storage back in here and just figure out a better way to utilize this space. Looks like she's just held in by a few screws, so let's pop them out. What do you say? Aha! What is that? That's holding it, though. What is holding it? Okay, let me get my light. I don't see anything. Surely we can't hurt it. We're going to throw it away. There we go. Something's giving way. What is that going to be? There's no plumbing on it. Okay. There we go. Oh, there was plumbing on it. What do you know? Oh, to drain the ice. Okay, well, how was I supposed to know that? There's no drain in here. Oh, yeah, there is. In here, there's a shelf. And I guess it's the shelf where you put the ice. And in the bottom of the shelf, there's a little drain in the back, which goes out the bottom. It was difficult to see, or I didn't see it. But we didn't hurt anything. Alright, let's see what we opened up down here. Oh, looks pretty good. Perfect spot for the camera. So yeah, this hose, okay, it's running to another through hole. Wow. Alright. Nothing down in the bottom here. This piece of particle board. Dang. Now we got a lot more space in there. I mean, it's pretty big. Much better. I'll probably end up putting a shelf in here, or maybe even a drawer since it's so deep. A drawer? No. A shelf with a little lip here. Probably be all we need. So now we move over here under the galley, and we have our stove to remove. This is a diesel stove. Over here you have a diesel tank, like a little diesel can. And I just don't need that kind of sophisticated system on a boat that I'm not going to use, right? Granted, it is a very nice stove and heater, but it's just, we don't need it, so it's going to go. Looks like the joker is screwed down from the top. Okay. Just got these 4 screws here. We'll see what she does. Well, that's the bulk of that. That thing probably weighs, I don't know, 25 pounds or so. We still have some wires and the fuel can and some switches and other stuff to remove. And then she'll be out. And I also have to figure out what I'm going to do with these through holes. Right here and right here. They're both above the water line, so I don't have to worry about, really worry about the boat sinking. But still, waves crash on that side of the boat, or the boat leans over, water would come in through those. So that could be an issue. But also, you want to limit your amount of through holes, because, you know, that's your points of failure. So I'll have to cap those off some way or another. Now we're down here looking at our cabinet. We have a lot of free space down here. This little false floor here, I'm probably going to take this out. Yeah, it had these circles cut in it, I'm guessing for, I don't know, maybe little propane tanks? I really have no idea. Or maybe the little 2.5, 5-gallon buckets, you know? We just need to watch out for our foot pump and our lines down here. And then our bilge pump line over here, because the bilge is right under here. And we got to check this out too, be sure the bilge is looking good. I might make another false floor in here, just raise it up just enough to clear these hoses. All right, let's take a quick look under here at our bilge pump. A lot of this stuff is made out of starboard, which is a nice synthetic plastic, so that's pretty nice to have. Okay, I like what I see. So you got your bilge pump in here, your hose that goes out overboard, and down here you can see your water line that runs from your water tank up to the sink there. You got a little sunken down sump here to kind of get the bilge pump lower so it can grab the water. It's a little nasty in there, but that's typical for a bilge, especially one that doesn't get seen very much at all. And it is a good Rule pump. That's a good brand, 1,100 gallons per hour, pretty decent. We'll probably take and put another one almost identical to this right back here in the very back of the boat, just so we have redundancy. 2 bilges, you know, never know what we may get into. You know, a little more than maybe your average, you know, your average adventurer. So dual bilge pumps is smart, but even for anyone, dual bilge pumps is smart. You never know when one could fail, and if you're in a serious situation, you're going to need it. Now this in here is the cockpit floor. So this is open normally to the elements and stuff, so waves could be coming in on you here, and this would be the area that's most likely to fill up with water. One thing I was concerned about is I saw this crack under here. I was like, okay, well, isn't the water just going to come right into the cabin? Well, fortunately, no. They have this little dam built here around the bilge pump that isolates the cockpit from the cabin, so the water will have to get up above this level to ever spill over into the cabin. So that's a good thing. Okay, one of the things we should do with the bilge pump is like take it out and inspect it. So let's do that. There we go. Looks pretty good. Don't see a bunch of junk in there. Not a lot of sand or rocks. Awesome. Now here you can see I've got my heat gun to remove my registration stickers. Doesn't take very long, but you are dealing with some residue when you're finished. We also have to remove the name. Yes, we're going to be renaming the boat. It's probably going to be Sea Trippin'. I think that's the best one that we could all figure out together. Now, we need to check the bearings. You guys remember I had a bearing go out on the way home from Texas? YouTube said you could listen to the bearings as you spun them and shake it, and that would kind of tell you how it was. Now, we are crafting a little box. It's good to kind of practice my carpentry skills every once in a while. I used to do this kind of work a lot. I used to do this for a living for many years. So here I'm putting some pocket hole screws into the sides of my little, let's call this my cook box or my cook storage area. Then I'm going to sand this whole thing down before I assemble it. Just kind of get all the little splinters off the boards. And now we are going to assemble the whole thing. I'm going to be gluing all my joints, and then I'll be stapling everything together. The glue really holds very well. Most of your strength is actually in the glue versus the physical fasteners. Now I'm going to put a few screws in here just because, I don't know, I thought it was needed. Probably wasn't, but I did. Now she's looking pretty good. This is going to be going on a boat. I think it would be best if we sealed it. So I have some old polyurethane that I'm just going to use to slap on a good couple coats here. So don't let it dry overnight, and she's ready to go in place. You can see this goes under where the stove was. So this is going to be to store my new stove, which is going to be a little butane stove that I have ordered. And it should go in there nicely, and then the hole will be covered by this cutting board. Perfect. Now, we are going to be trying to run these twin 50s for a little while, but in order to do that, it would be best if we put some hydrofoils on the motors. This is going to help the boat whenever it is underway, help keep the bow down, help it plane out a little bit faster, and also probably help it just move through the water a little more efficiently. So we're drilling these holes in the motor, which is never fun, and of course the battery is always going to die on you. But we'll get the holes drilled, then we'll put the bolts in. Yeah. And then we just slide our hydrofoil on, nice and snug, bolt her down, and thank goodness all my holes are in the right spot. Nothing was seriously out of whack, so everything should do just fine when we get underway. Yeah, those things look pretty good. I'm excited to see how well the boat performs with it. Although, I never ran the boat, or I didn't run it much without them, so I don't have a whole lot to compare it to. Now, up here, you can see the cabin roof up here, and see that hole with the little piece of blue under it? This is where the radar cable ran from the radar down into the cabin to the radar, I don't know, the actual unit down there where you could see the radar and what's around you. So I'm sealing this up. Right here I have some epoxy that I'm kind of painting into the edges, kind of get into the little cracks and crannies. And now I have some thickened epoxy that I am using to actually fill the hole. So I'll just build this up in here and try and get it as level to the top as I can, although it wasn't a level surface, so I had to take a little stick, and as it was drying and hardening, I was kind of dragging it up the hill a little bit to make it as smooth as possible. It worked out. So while that was hardening, I made my way to the bow of the boat. And under the bow we have a little anchor locker storage area, and I'm getting out this anchor rod. Now, your anchor is one of the most important things on your boat, and your rod is important as well, of course. So it needed a good inspection, and also wanted to measure it. So you can see I'm measuring out a 20-foot section and stretching things out. So check. Okay, looks like I have about, what, 15 feet of chain-ish. Oh, look, a knot. Why is there a knot in the anchor rod? So at each end of my 20-foot mark, I will drive a couple stakes in the ground. One of those is just a big screwdriver. Then I will take the rod and I will wrap it around and around and around. All this time I'm inspecting the rod. I'm touching every bit to see if there's any other knots or anywhere it's fraying or has a weak spot. But this is also helping me measure it. So after I loop it all the way around, I can come and I can count just how many strands I have, and it'll tell me how many feet of rod I have. I have 10 strands. What's that? 200 feet? So then next I'm going to make some marks on the anchor rod. This will let me know how much rod or line I am playing out or letting out as I anchor, because whenever you anchor in certain depths of water, you need to have certain amounts of anchor rod out in order for your anchor to anchor you and hold you perfectly, or well enough. So here, now whenever I let out my anchor rod, I'll know, okay, if I'm in 10 foot of water, I need to have 50 foot out. And I know which mark corresponds about 50 foot, so I'll know when I have the appropriate amount of anchor rod out. Then we just stuff things back in the bag. It really works well just to stuff rope in a bag, believe it or not. It comes out perfectly. Now let's see how our project came out. The tape on the bottom. Oh, that looks pretty good. Not too bad. That'll work. Now let's put our new registration stickers on. Yes, she is finally legal and ready to go get out on the water. Now, over the past few years, I put a number of registration stickers on a series of boats that I've purchased and registered. So I've gotten pretty decent at it. Although it's not rocket science, but I guess it could be easy to screw up. Nice and beautiful. It's great. You can just order these off of Amazon and they come just perfect. You pick the font, the color, all that. Pretty nice. Wow, we've been making a lot of improvements on the boat. She's just about ready. I mean, she pretty much is ready. We could take her out now. I didn't film everything. Some of the other things that I've done, I'll share with you guys really quick. I changed all the lighting out to LED bulbs to conserve electricity. I installed a new Bluetooth radio. So now we can jam, right? Much, much better. Then there's other small things that I've been doing here and there with the boat, but really, a lot of my time has been focused elsewhere. Like, I went whitewater rafting, I went on the skiff rally, took a bunch of folks, we had a great time. That video is coming soon. My mother has sold her house and has been moving and stuff like that. This week, my kids are out of school, so they're home with me, so it's kind of harder for me to do things. I've been working on stuff like getting ready for Rock-A-Dock this year, because it's going to be fantastic. And I'm really excited. If you guys don't know what Rock-A-Dock is, you need to check it out. It's an event that I put on. It's going to be 7 days of camping and paddling this year. But all you Rock-A-Dockers, I'm ready to see y'all. And I've got some good things in mind to make the event better, just like we do every year. Right now, I'm just counting down the days to when we can take this boat out on its first adventure. I've still yet to actually splash her and take her for a good test run, but I may get to do that in the next few days. Don't know if we're going to get to film it or not, but I do have an adventure planned for the boat pretty soon. I think it's in like a week, or is it 2 weeks? What's today? Yeah, about 2 weeks from now, we'll be going on a trip. Not really sure what it is yet, but it's going to be a good one, all right? So thank you all for watching. Hope y'all stay tuned for all the good stuff. And I know people are just eating up all this boat content, which I love it too. I mean, this is such an exciting thing that we're working on. There's no telling what kind of adventures it's going to bring, so I'm glad everyone is as excited as I am. If you just go back and you look at the views of my past videos and which ones are getting more views, it's definitely the little boat stuff. And this sucker is doing amazing, and I haven't even done a trip on it yet. Thanks for all your support, folks. Thank you, patrons, for what you're doing for the channel. And I hope all y'all are having the opportunities to get out there and go on an adventure yourselves. All right, folks, take care. God bless, and, get out there. Love you.